On today's show, the Dallas Mavericks get an just impossible win against the Denver Nuggets. Ryan Nembhard unlocks the Dallas Mavericks offense. Anthony Davis looking like Anthony Davis. Cooper Flagg being him. The Dallas Mavericks have some things to build on. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like back.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, where we let it run. Your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being an everyday. Making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. Making Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network out there. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. If you win, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Get started at FanDuel.com. And joining me, as always, the Postgame prodigy from the great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What'd you see from the Dallas Mavericks tonight, Slightly Biased?
Bonsoir, everyone. That means good evening, by the way, in case you guys aren't cultured out there. But I see a red-hot basketball team. Back-to-back wins for the first time this season.
That's right. Red hot for the Dallas Mavericks. Just a weird one that it's hard to even kind of, like, if we had just jumped into this season with this game, we did Slightly Unplugged, and this was the first game that you watched this season, you'd be like, oh, well, the Mavs thing is working. Anthony Davis has been great. The Mavs found something in Nembhard. Cooper Flagg has been great. Just erased all the whole beginning of the season. We'd be like, oh, this is a playoff team. And yet,
So you would say the vision?
I would say there is some vision maybe being played out in this game. But we'll get into Cooper Flagg's game, obviously. We'll talk about Anthony Davis and maybe his injury, his hand. We'll talk about some of that stuff. But we got to start here. Ryan Nembhard, 28 points, 10 assists, 0 turnovers. 12 of 14 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. Didn't take any free throws either, which I think is really impressive and insane for a game like this. And there's so much to talk about with him. How many rookies all time do you think have had a 28 point, 10 assist, 0 turnover game?
10.
1, Stephon Marbury, and now Ryan Nembhard. That's it. Those are the only rookies to ever have a game like this. Guess how many players this season have had a 28 point, 10 assist, 0 turnover game?
1.
2, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Johnson and Ryan Nembhard. Oh, only players this season to have 28 points, 10 assists, and 0 turnovers. It's an impressive game for an NBA player. Let alone
my guy Jalen Johnson.
Let alone an undrafted two-way guy that the Dallas Mavericks have been just kind of holding back. He had the knee injury for a little while, and then now they've put him into this starting lineup, and he is just making it work and making the Mavs offense work. You put Anthony Davis at the 5, you put Ryan Nembhard at the point guard, you run some pick and roll action, you run some little dribble handoffs with Cooper Flagg learning how to, attack and learning how to get his shot now, as the Mavs have had some really good games from Cooper Flagg. And like, the Mavs did hit 50% of their threes, which I think is a massive part of why they won this game. But Ryan Nembhard, I think, is just at least making the offense look good against this Denver Nuggets team. And we'll talk about their defense because maybe they're a little bit more concerning than a team as good as they should be looking. But man, you'll take the big win for the Dallas Mavericks, and it starts with Ryan Nembhard.
Yeah, I mean, this has been an ongoing search for the Mavs, figuring out which guard to plug in to this starting group. And Nembhard, they all kind of provide different things from one another. And Nembhard, when his shot's falling, I mean, he provides something that I don't think either of the other two do. The other two being Brandon Williams and D'Lo, obviously, which is like, he operates the pick and roll in a way that's just incredibly advanced. And so when you have this 2-man game, and D'Lo's pretty good at it, but when you have this 2-man game with AD, then all of a sudden that gets AD looks that he's a little bit more comfortable with and confident in, and that gets him going a little bit. And then, defenses are reacting to that and collapsing on that, on those roles. And now all of a sudden, guys like Cooper Flagg are now able to just catch and attack. Like, it does open up a bunch of other different things for the team. So it was a great performance from Nembhard. I mean, that's crazy. I thought I saw somewhere that maybe it was 28-10, like as a game for an undrafted rookie. It was him and Austin Reeves.
I'm
That's
adding
crazy.
0 assists. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't do the undrafted rookie thing, but yeah, I added 0 turnovers because, man, like that is even more impressive if you add that fact to it.
Yeah, so Brandon Williams is kind of more of a scoring guard to me. Like, he's not looking to play make the way that Nembhard and even to a lesser extent D'Lo is. D'Lo to me is a pretty decent playmaking guy at times, but I don't think there's any other guard currently on this team. Obviously, like, Kyrie's hurt, that can like actually bend defenses the way Nembhard can with his playmaking, and that is an element that is sorely missing. And he was awesome tonight.
Absolutely awesome. And it starts with this. Like, we have been trying to figure out what this Mavs offense has been trying to do all season. They added this new like Princeton style or this motion like offense, and they started Cooper Flagg at the point guard. They're like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna play big. We're gonna play with these guys. We don't even need a point guard because of the way our offense works. And we've just been looking for how do they create an advantage in any way. You've seen all these offenses in the NBA work on how do we create an advantage. The number one offense in the league is the Denver Nuggets because they can create an advantage with Jokic on literally every single different kind of play, right? Like, he creates an advantage just by his size and passing and playmaking because he bends defenses to his will. You look at the Houston Rockets, they create an advantage with Amen Thompson's insane speed. You have Şengün's touch around the rim and his ability to like drive from three, and obviously Kevin Durant, you can't leave him at all. You see the advantage that Jalen Brunson gives with the Knicks, where he's able to like his first step and his footwork and what he's able to do, plus Cat spacing the floor. Oklahoma City with SGA just creating an advantage with his footwork and his ability to get in the lane. The Lakers are the number 5 offense. You have obviously Luka and Reeves. The Mavs saw firsthand the advantages those guys can create. And you look at those are the top 5 offenses. They all have guys that just like you create an advantage and then you build off of that. And then you can do stuff off of that. And the Mavs just had nobody that was creating an advantage. Nothing that was creating an advantage for them by deciding, all right, we're not going to do as many pick and rolls. We're going to try this motion offense with this passing, these dribble handoffs with these bigs. That was not creating enough of an advantage for the Mavericks. And you have Ryan Nembhard that just comes in and is like, hey, let me just run a pick and roll where I get ahead of the defense, get the guy on my hip, and then I can pass out to anything, even if a guy comes over and helps. And all of a sudden, we've created an advantage. And it seems very simple in that, but I think that has just kind of unlocked unlocked an NBA level offense to me.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you don't have too many guys who can reliably create their own advantage. So you have to find somebody who can do that for them. So that's why I like Nembhard. You want to know who he reminds me of?
Andrew Nembhard?
Yeah. No, actually, they don't really remind me that much of each other,
No,
like play
not at
style
all.
wise.
Not at all.
I've seen people say Brunson. Obviously, they don't play anything I like, in my opinion. Mike Conley offensively. That's kind of how I. Now, I don't think he'll ever be as good as Mike Conley defensively was, like at his during the grit and grind days.
Yeah.
But and Mike Conley's a little bit taller, I think. But they're both shorter guys, and I feel like the way that there's sort of cerebralness and just like I'm gonna make the right play. I'm a pass first, playmaking first point guard. But, I can get a bucket. I can get a shot. I can catch and shoot. Like, I can do all these other things reliably. That's just kind of who he reminds me of whenever I watch him play. It's like Mike Conley. I know everyone's going to go like Brunson because of the Mavs connection. Andrew Nembhard. It's kind of funny how I don't feel like they play anything alike at all, really.
No. What's weird about the Ryan Nembhard experience that we're dealing with right now is he scored 28 points. And he averaged 10 points a game his senior season at Gonzaga. It's not like he was this scoring guy that was just like lighting it up in college. And then he's just like waiting for his chance to get his shots off. He's not that guy, but he's just giving what the defense is giving him. They're going under a lot of these screens. And then when they're going over the screens, he was hitting the mid-range shot and just making the right play in that spot and finding open space when he doesn't have the ball and getting a couple of catch and shoot threes. It's just really smart basketball is what it is. And now the Mavericks have Ryan Nembhard, Cooper Flagg. You throw Anthony Davis in there. You throw Max Christie in there, and then Klay Thompson. Like, those are the guys that were closing. Naji Marshall came in there too. You just have really smart basketball players making really smart basketball plays. And that sometimes that just makes good basketball.
Yeah. It's funny. Like the college thing that's just sometimes these guys, then they go to the league with NBA spacing and stuff, and it just unlocks a new level for them where they're like, oh, I mean, I can score. That's just not what I did, though. He had some tough finishes, too, man. Like, he's got that scoop layup down. Yeah. That's when you're a small guard, and obviously he's not like an explosive athlete. So he's under the basket. And when you're that small, you got to have the crafty, you got to use the rim as to help you against a shot blocker. You've got to have the quick releases off the wrong foot. He's crafty, man.
He's crafty and he's good. And the Dallas Mavericks have put him in this starting lineup. And I don't think he's leaving anytime soon.
Well, don't say that. Because we said that about D'Lo and we said that about Brandon Williams. Like, it's a bit of a curse.
It's the curse of the Mavs putting the guy in the starting lineup. Cooper Flagg started.
Yep.
Then it was Brandon Williams. Then it was D'Angelo Russell. Now it's Ryan Nembhard. Who will start next at Mavs point guard if Ryan Nembhard ever falls off?
Has Hardy started a game yet? I mean, he's the next logical.
Can they? Well, is it Kyrie? Is the next one?
Probably. There you go.
Coming up, Cooper Flagg also made a big impact in this game, and I thought just played a really smart, great basketball game. Played exactly the way I thought Cooper Flagg would play. I'll explain why coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook has all kinds of props and odds, things that you can use to get in on the action. Go check out FanDuel because right now you can take advantage of all the fun that they have over at the NFL odds that are going on throughout the end of the season. The Cowboys got a run in them maybe, and that game is absolutely massive. Their next one against the Lions, so you can go check out that game and see where they are. The Cowboys opening as a 3-point underdog in Detroit, which makes sense to me as a spread. But if you are confident the Cowboys are going to get a win, you can go and check that out, and you can take advantage of the deal that they have right now. NFL Sundays move fast. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. So if you want to be right in the middle of the NFL action this season, visit FanDuel.com. Place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show and listening. We're a 5-day-a-week Dallas Mavericks show where we continue all through the offseason and everything. And we do a post-game show. Slightly and I will be here. Isaac had the last one. Cooper Flagg had an awesome game. And so go listen to that one if you missed it. Isaac talked about a trade potential with the Knicks with Anthony Davis yesterday, so go listen to that one as well. But let's get back into the Mavs win against the Denver Nuggets. Just a weird win. Mavs were 10-point underdogs going into this game, and the Mavs win by 10, which is a wild thing to see, that big of a swing. Cooper Flagg.
10-point underdogs? Wow.
Yes.
I would have guessed worse.
Let's see. Yeah, the Mavs, I sent it to the text line this morning. 10.5-point underdog.
I would have guessed like 13, honestly.
It probably should have been, but they knew Anthony Davis was going to be back. No Aaron Gordon, no Christian Brown. And the Nuggets have been they've lost some. Their last 4 losses at home are to these teams: Dallas, San Antonio without Wemby, Sacramento, and Chicago. What a weird 4-game slate. That's their last 4 home games, all losses to weird teams. And they've won all the games in the middle against Houston on the road, against Phoenix on the road, New Orleans and Memphis. They've won. And then Minnesota on the road right before that. Like, what a weird stretch of games for the Nuggets.
That's classic. Yeah, they're in a weird way, kind of.
It's a weird funk that they're in right now.
I mean, the reality is every team not named Oklahoma City is just like, they're not that team, huh?
The Thunder they're something else. I mean,
they are.
I go back and I look at that game the Mavs almost won against the Thunder, and I go, oh man, that was.
Well, it's funny when you look at the Mavs because it's like, yeah, they're 10-point underdogs. They don't lose by that much ever.
It's true. That probably also is in there because Mavs had the most clutch game. Another clutch game for the Mavs in this one.
So they're kind of one of these teams that if you've been like paying attention, if you've been like kind of a sicko and have been watching this team, it's like they're a little bit better than what their record is.
Yeah, they a league high 17. Maybe does this make 18 clutch games?
Yeah, I don't know. They showed on the I don't know if that was including this game or what, but That's crazy. That is actually
I think
crazy.
it does. I think it does include this game.
So is that's 17 out of 20?
What, the Mavs? The Mavs are now 7-15, so 22.
Oh,
17 out of 22 though is still
That is
5
insane.
non-clutch games.
that's crazy.
And one of them was the Lakers game, and they were close that whole
Yeah.
game against them.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a clutch game. And the Mavs are 6-11 now in those clutch games.
That's why I've been saying is I do see a pretty decent team with the Kyrie Irving. There's one exists.
It's what made this whole start to the season so confounding, is we just spent all offseason going, this can be a solid team. This should be a play-in team until Kyrie comes back. And then maybe they can actually make some noise and like win a playoff round potentially. But then it was just so, like, it started off so terribly.
Yeah.
And for Cooper Flagg, he got started off on like a weird note to start the season. We were like kind of waiting around. He had that one random 2-point game. He's had some games where he's had a lot of first halves where he's just not hitting or not taking any shots, really, like maybe taking like 4 shots in a half. And we've been trying to figure out, all right, what is the Cooper Flagg that we're going to see this season? And in this one, 24 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, only 2 turnovers, 10 of 19 from the field. He hit a 3 of 4 from the free throw line, and he's just doing it all. And this is the Cooper Flagg that I thought we would see through this season, playing on a good team and playing off of guys. And every once in a while, the Mavs will need him to go take a drive, take advantage of a mismatch, take advantage of a post up, run a little offense, get some really good passes in. He had a couple other good passes where Mavs missed shots, but this was just another great, like high IQ game for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can't watch this guy and not think this dude's going to be a superstar in the league. I mean, even like, let's just look at his last 3 games, really. You had the kind of weird game against the Lakers where he did have 11 assists, was the youngest player ever to have 11 assists in a game. But I don't necessarily think he was like great in that game. Felt like he deferred quite a bit. But I think that game did kind of showcase this ability he has to just make the right pass, make the extra pass, find open players. His game against the Clippers where he dropped 35 was, I mean, awesome. Just an awesome scoring display on no threes to put up 35 points and showing off that finishing ability. And tonight was more of like where in that Clippers game, it felt like it was a concerted effort right away. You know, second half of back-to-back, a bunch of guys sitting. PJ, disastrous ankle injury before the game. Like, hey, just have the ball in your hands and go out and shoot. Like, go out and make buckets for yourself. Go out and drive, attack the basket. This game was more of like okay, we've got Nembhard. He's popping off. AD's playing tonight. He's having a good game. I'm going to play off these guys and attack and cut and get baskets in transition. And that just like those 3 games, they're all like very different from each other and how he went about the game. But it all just kind of showcased this. I think the 3 ball will get there. I don't think it's a coincidence. Like the free throw shooting kind of tailed off the same time the 3-point shooting did. So I can attribute all of that to the thumb injury. Like that all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like once the 3 ball kind of comes back, he gets a little bit more comfortable. Maybe the team around him, the situation makes more sense over time. Like he's just going to contribute to every positive thing you need to do on the basketball court, he's going to do. So I think he's having really one of the more impressive rookie seasons we've seen. And I know that sounds, hey, I'm playing into my name, slightly biased here, but like
I was like, if anybody's going to call you out for that, I mean, they're just telling on themselves.
When you're factoring in the age and all of this other stuff, like it's been really impressive what he's done. He's been like a big time contributor.
He's the only one you can compare him to is LeBron.
Yeah, that's really it. That's the
and
only.
You're not saying he is LeBron, but that's the only one you can compare him to because he's doing things that no one else besides him has done.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like it's not, obviously their play style is different and stuff like that. But in terms of just being an 18-year-old contributing in the NBA immediately at a pretty good level, like there's a reason it's never really been done outside of LeBron.
Right. It's impressive, and we've seen him learn and grow into his game throughout this season, like almost in real time. There was that like really late timeout that Jason Kidd took where he came right up to Cooper Flagg, did the weird like put his shirt over his mouth so that nobody could see what he was saying, and After that, Cooper Flagg went out and drove twice right into the lane and got buckets in the fourth quarter. And you wonder if he was like, hey, be more aggressive. You've got to take that driving lane if it's there for you, because you can go right at Jokic. He had a couple finishes right over Jokic too. There's really no rim protection. And so Kid was like, hey, just go to the lane. You're big. Like you can finish over the top of him. And we saw that happen. And it's like Cooper Flagg getting coached and then answering the call like right away.
Yeah. I can't believe how comfortable he is with his left hand. Like that feels more like year 2-3 stuff. But I'd be interested in seeing how many of his finishes are with his left hand.
The thumb injury has maybe helped his left hand, because he's been forced to use his left hand a little bit more.
Maybe. Yeah, he's such an impressive player.
Absolutely impressive. It's been great to see him and great to see what he's done. Really impressive rookie for the
Such
Mavericks.
an impressive player.
Two rookies that we've been able to say have been incredibly impressive. Coming up, Anthony Davis, also an impressive game for him, and he looked like he was kind of back, but maybe some questions. Talk about Anthony Davis. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks daily fantasy made easy. All you have to do is go to Prize Picks, see what is available for you, and you can go and take advantage of all the fun sports happening. If you want to be able to watch a bunch of different sports, if you're somebody that just has a bunch of different screens going at once, you can go and use Prize Picks. All you have to do is pick a lineup, and once you pick your lineup, you have the you just pick more or less on their stats. They're more or less, and you can do that in 45 states, including Texas. Texas is a place where you can play Prize Picks. So go take advantage of it. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. This holiday season is one of the best times for sports, bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once, and while we're all making choices every day, one of the most fun places to make the right call is Prize Picks. So go make the right call at Prize Picks. Again, use the code LOCKEDONNBA at Prize Picks. So you can download the app. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Slightly, talking about the Mavs win against the Denver Nuggets. The two rookies, super impressive. An undrafted two-way guy and an 18-year-old having a really impressive games against Jokic and the Nuggets. And then Anthony Davis, who is an NBA champion, an All-NBA guy, and came in with 32 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, was 13 of 23 from the field, hit 2 threes, including a corner three, which was kind of rare. And he just had a really solid game, like just a really solid, great game. He could score against Jokic. We've seen him win in this Jokic matchup before when he was playing on the Lakers, and this has been a good matchup for him. And so you kind of expected this would be a good Anthony Davis game, but offensively, they got exactly what they needed in the pick and roll with Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just confirms what a lot of people are saying, that he's just better as a 5. Makes more sense as a 5, especially in certain lineups where you could space the floor with guys who are, in theory, at least if not good 3-point shooters, at least guys that defenses have to worry about and check on, and just how it helps the team. And also, I know it's not the prettiest basketball. I know in 2025, it's not basketball you really see all that often, but hey, if you have a guy who, when he's going, it is all right, give him the ball at the elbow and face up elbow jumper. We kind of just have that in our back pocket, right? That for a team that's pretty offensive inept, all things considered, that's kind of just a nice fallback option to have. So yeah, he was really good tonight. I mean, he is a good player, man. He is. I know. All of this talk has just led you to believe that this guy just sucks.
He must be garbage. If his trade value is garbage, he must be garbage. It's no, that's not the case.
This is a good player. And he was good tonight. And this is, if he stays on the floor and healthy, this team is much better than 7-15. I don't know how much better. I don't know. I'm not putting them in conversations with, even the Nuggets, but they're just a better team than 7-15 would indicate. So
should be at least a 500 team.
Yeah, exactly. Bare minimum. I mean, really, I really do think this team, if they just committed 80 at the 5 and Kyrie were healthy and playing, I do think this would be a good team. That'd be in the mix with Phoenix is what? What's their record right now? They're 12-9, about to be 13-9. Yeah, for sure they could be that.
Well, the Blazers are in the 10th seed, and they're 8-12.
Yeah, the West is going to be probably a little bit weird this year with who gets into the play-in tournament.
All right, here we go. Here's the thing. Mavs only 2 games back from the Blazers. Anthony Davis back, healthy. Cooper Flagg finding his stride. Ryan Nembhard unlocking the offense. Should the Mavs just go for the play-in now? Or are we off team tank?
Well, I think they could just fall into the play-in tournament. But I also like, I want them to get rid of the play-in tournament. I'm done with it.
You're done. Isaac hates it too. I still like it, but
I think it's kind of fun for, like, if the season were to end today, the Eastern Conference actually makes some sense if it's like the way
weird,
because the Sixers are the 9th seed and 10-9. So it's like, all right, let's give them a chance to maybe, like, they play the Celtics, who they pretty much have the same record. Like, play them in a 1 game. Whoever wins it is the 8th seed. If it's like the Trailblazers are 8-12, it's like you don't get a chance. Why should you get a chance if you're 8-12?
Well,
with a 400 win percentage.
The team in 8th is 11-10. It's not like they're that much better than them right now. Like
yeah, but at least you have a winning
games.
Record. Whenever the Eastern Conference is rolling out teams that are 7 or 8 games below 5, it's like, all right, you're not allowed in. You're not allowed to have a chance.
But every once in a while, there is a team that is like the Dallas Mavericks where they've had injuries, and the reason why they haven't been good is because of injuries. So then they come on strong at the end, and you're giving a team like the Cowboys right now should have some kind of play-in game that they should be able to get in because they've turned it on at the end of the season.
You want to know what the Cowboys play-in games are? Every game from here on out.
Right now, every game is against the Lions. It's against the whoever else, Vikings, Chargers, whoever else is on their schedule. It's true. But the thing about the play-in to me is it keeps some of these teams alive, right? Like the Mavs will still have some kind of hope right now to stay alive. Like the players, the coaches, some of the fans that are not on Team Tank, the ones that are yelling at us in the comment section right now. See, this is a good team. I told you. Why'd you guys want them to tank? It gives them some kind of hope because they would just be dead. They'd just be dead in the water. And by the end of the season, if you're like by the last 2 months of the season, 3 months, if you're 5-6 games out of the 8th, then you're done. Like it's over. And those months don't mean anything to you. And now at least they mean something to some of these teams.
I guess, but I just don't think
that's really all it is. The play-in was made for the final, like, and maybe teams make some trades because they're still kind of alive in the play-in. But it's for the couple of last months of the season, so that those games can still be relevant. And I think that has worked.
Has it, though? I'm actually still of the belief this will all go away when inevitably a team takes a playing game. And it will happen. If a team says, we have a lottery protected pick.
But it's not even about those play-in games. It's about the 2-3 months before that when a team that wanted to get in the play-in tried and their season was still alive and their fans had still something to hope for.
But your hope is we can maybe make the 8th seed to get crushed by the Thunder in the first round.
Yeah, but their team is still alive. Mavs last year, I mean, it was a disaster end of the season. But
I'm
like,
actually interested. Has there ever been a fan base whose team was in the 10 seed going into the playing tournament and been like, this is so fun? Like every time it's like, I hate this team. Please, I hope they don't. Like last year with the Mavs, it was like, please lose.
Both teams, Mavs and Kings, are both why the hell are we here right now?
Lose this game and shut this thing. Like, were any Bulls fans like, let's make a run? No, they were all like, let's fire people and lose this game, please.
It's probably true. It has not worked out as well for some of those teams, obviously, but. Anyway.
The concept was at its peak in the bubble where it was like, if you are within this certain number, like you get an opportunity if you've been playing good.
And that was because the season was shortened and like the teams didn't have as much time, as much runway to make a run. And so you're like, all right, well, let's give.
And they wanted Zion.
I still think it works.
That's crazy how far Zion's fallen. That is literally why they made that rule. I'm not kidding.
Which rule?
The bubble. They literally made it the bubble. The bubble rule.
Wasn't Zion 2019?
Yeah, but they were in the bubble in Orlando, weren't they?
No, not until 2020.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that's when was the birth of the play-in.
So they could keep Zion and the Pelicans in.
Yes, like that is where Zion was. Like that's just sad to me.
And where are they right now? They're 6.5 games, 5.5 games out of the play. 6.5.
Zion's just an afterthought in the league, man. Sad stuff.
Wild. And Anthony Davis has kind of been an afterthought in the league, but now there's trade rumors for him. He had a really good game tonight. If you're the Chicago Bulls and you watch this game, what are you thinking?
So I actually think the Chicago Bulls makes a lot of sense.
Does.
I can see it. Like, that's actually the one team, because I was thinking about this earlier today, where I was like, I actually see why they would do it.
Yeah.
Like, I make subs. And if I were a Bulls fan, I think I could actually pretty easily talk myself into it.
Considering the Mavs fan base, you can talk yourself into anything. You can find a group of fans that have talked themselves into any number of things right now. But you look like, all right, we turn Vooch into Anthony Davis.
Let me throw this out there. These conversations to me are so disrespectful to the player Anthony Davis is. Like, he is
for sure.
I think the East is a monstrosity right now. I know, like, people have thrown out their records against it. Like, I don't care. I think Anthony Davis, if a team was like, you know what? This conference is in such disarray. If we get like 3 months of healthy AD at the right time, we could win it. Like, that's all we need.
Yeah, because who are the top 5 teams in the East right now? The Pistons,
the genuinely good team,
but not playoff tested.
Right, young, green.
The Knicks, also playoff flaws.
Good team though.
The Heat.
I'd be utterly shocked if
gimmicky offense that we haven't seen work in the playoffs yet.
I was just about to say I'd be shocked if what they're doing works.
The Raptors, who were awful last year.
Yeah, but they're playing well though.
Magic, whose best players, they're better than without.
Yeah.
And the Cavs, who have just like, I don't know what happened to them this season.
What is going on with
injuries? But that's the top 6 in the East. It's like there's not that much confidence that you could put. I mean, Anthony Davis could be the best player in the East this year.
Is there any scenario? I mean, I'm trying to think how contracts work. Is there a single scenario where the Celtics could make it work?
I think it would have to be Jaylen Brown.
Would it? Because I know they're right. They're still a second apron team.
They're second apron team, so they can only do 1-to-1. They can't trade more than one. So yeah, it would have to be Jaylen Brown. Or, you know what? They could just say F it and trade Jason Tatum. Mavs would have 28-year-old Jason Tatum and 18-year-old Jason Tatum on their team.
Yeah, that ain't happening. You know, no, the Bucks don't have enough. Because I was just thinking desperation and like,
can they trade Damian Lillard's waived and stretched contract?
I don't think so.
No, they cannot. That would be insane. They don't have enough.
Kuzma and Miles Turner.
Are they a second apron team?
I don't think so.
No, they got some. I think they've got some space. That was the reason why. Actually, that was the reason why they did the Lillard thing. So yeah, they could do Turner, Kuzma. They got to keep Ryan Rollins, right? Like you can't do that. The Bucks cap sheet is so interesting. It's Giannis at $54 million, Turner at 25, Kuzma at 22, Portis at 13, and then Kevin Porter Jr. at 5. Like they're fifth highest paid player makes $5 million.
And it shows when Giannis is out.
Yes, it absolutely does. Go check out Slightly Biased, a great YouTube channel. Good stuff happening all the time now that he's back stateside. Guys, check out the episodes from Isaac over the weekend, and we'll be back here tomorrow with more. Thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs. Peace out. Boom.
I'm going to sleep.
Down.
For a whole day.